Hey folks, how you doing? Ray here, eXp Realty. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to teach you about the forbearance trap and what's going on with this pandemic going around and all of these benefits that the federal government is trying to give you as far as, hey, skip your mortgage payment, just apply for a forbearance. You can get 3 months, you can get up to 12 months of forbearance without having to pay your mortgage. You know, a lot of people, if you need that, that is fantastic. What a help that is going to be. But look, if you're just like, if you have the money to pay your mortgage and you just want to save that money and just say, hey, okay, well, I'm going to apply for a forbearance, or maybe you own a rental property and, you know, you're getting rent in and you want to help the tenant. But that's kind of a mistake to do too, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But the forbearance trap, even though the federal government has now said, okay, well, you can stop paying your mortgage and get that forbearance, but they also left it up to the loan servicer to make the rules at the end when it comes back to paying for that forbearance back. So that's the forbearance trap. So what they do, right, is there's 3 ways. You can stop, once you apply for your forbearance, you have to, if you want to stop making your mortgage payments, just don't stop paying them. You have to call or contact your mortgage servicer. A lot of the times in today's, right now anyway, and my servicer, they have this application already. If you log on their website, you can fill out the forbearance thing to stop paying your mortgage. But don't just stop paying it without filling out that application. You have to get approved for it first. So with that said, what is the trap, right? The trap that these mortgage servicers are going to put you in is it's the federal government left it up to them to make the rules on payback. So there's 3 different options you can do when payback. The first one is you can pay back in full, right? So they want everything that you haven't paid up front. But when this forbearance is over, probably the end of July, well, we really have no idea. It could last up to 12 months, right? So they want that all in full. Now, that's absolutely ridiculous for a lot of people because who can come up with all of that money up front, right? So the second way you can pay that back is they say, okay, well, this is not a bad option. This is probably the better of the 2 is, well, we'll add up all of your payments that you haven't paid. And what we're going to do is we're going to tack on part of that payment every month from now on until you catch up. So usually that's probably over half of a month payment. So a lot of people can't afford to just tack a month and a half of mortgage payments onto their payment, but that is option 2, is to split it, split the payments amongst like a year of paying your mortgage. So by the end of that following year, you'll be able to catch up and go back to your regular mortgage payment. But the third way is to do what they force you into is a modification. Now, this is the trap, right? Because if you can't pay in full, right, and you can't afford to split your payments and pay a mortgage payment and a half every month, then the only other option is a modification, right? I'm just going to write mod here. A modification. Now, you have to qualify for a modification. So you've already taken this forbearance. And if you stop paying on your credit cards or any other, you know, maybe your car payment is late or you have a few late payments coming up now, now you may not qualify. The Fed raised the requirements now on credit scores also to qualify for a mortgage. So right now, the federal government does not have any stipulations in their stimulus bill to say, okay, well, you have to add it on to the back of the mortgage, which is, in a sense, a modification. there's no rule or anything saying that that's what the loan servicer has to do. And until the federal government turns around and says, hey, you can't do that to people, you have to add it on, which may be coming in the future, but we really don't know. Right now, they're leaving it up to the loan servicer, like I said. So here's the 3 ways. You can pay it in full, you can split it up into monthly payments, or you can do a modification. If you don't qualify for the modification, here's the trap. What are they going to do to you? Well, if you can't pay in full, you can't do the split payment and your modification, and you're more than 3 months behind in your mortgage, they're going to foreclose on you. And of course, they want your equity in your house, right? So they're not going to be scared to foreclose on you. Unlike last time when we had the housing crisis, they really didn't want your house. They had so many houses that, and the market was really low. So a lot of the people were upside down. They owed more than the house was worth. So the banks were kind of eating that. This time, the market's still up there. The market hasn't dropped. This is just a temporary thing in the market. So you'll see kind of a V shape. It's going to shoot right back up once we get a cure to this virus, or a vaccine, or something that works, which they say is not going to happen for at least another year, right? So if we have to wait another year and you don't pay your payments for an entire year, in 12 months, you're probably not going to be able to pay it back in full. And to do a split payment, it may be a good option if you can afford to do at least a month and a half's worth of mortgage payments every month, which may be a lot of people's option there. They do want to work with you because they really don't want your house, but they would love your equity. So if you don't qualify now for this modification at the end because of their credit score now requirements have gone up, or you have late payments on your credit or your car payments or your credit cards, then they're going to use that against you and say, well, now you don't qualify, your credit score is going down. And as far as I know, there is no stipulations in a stimulus as far as credit score goes for your car payment or personal loans, or, you know, your boat loan or your toys that you have. If you don't pay those, you still get dinged on your credit, and that's going to bring you down too. So if you have the money to pay for your mortgage, I would highly suggest you pay for your mortgage. Also, another forbearance trap is say you go through forbearance and you are able to, say, make a full payment and pay that back, right? So if you were to look for buying something else in the future, maybe you're looking to buy another rental property or sell your home and then buy another home, right? That may, if you fill out your application, you'll see that it asks, have you applied for a forbearance in the last 12 months? So you'll see that might hurt you as well. Going forward, after this is all over, buying something new, going through a forbearance might actually make you not qualify for another house. But so this has been the forbearance trap. I wanted to make this video because there's a lot of people out there that you're just thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to stop paying my mortgage and we'll do the government give me, right? Well, it's not really a government give me. It's a forbearance trap, and the mortgage servicers are going to end up eating all of this, and they're not going to want to take the hit either. So if you can, pay your mortgage. If you can't, I guess do your forbearance, go through it, but just be knowledgeable enough to know that you either have to pay it back in full, you can split up your payments, or at the end they're going to modify your loan if you qualify. So thanks for watching. Again, Ray Nadeau, eXp Realty, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey, make sure you hit subscribe to my channel so we can grow and you'll never miss an episode. We'll see you soon.